Hello, welcome back to the videos. This is our third and last video about playing and singing, and I thought we'd just kind of wrap things up with maybe adding some licks to what we're already doing. In video one, we talked about how to keep time by vamping and then singing a line of a song. Then we talked about rolling back up, some good ways to figure out where and when to roll and how to rely on your forward roll, to get you that syncopated drive you need. Another step above this would be doing licks in the background. Now again, if you're singing lead in like a jam or group situation and you want to provide some banjo fills in there and you're the banjo player in the group, then obviously it's going to fall on you to do the banjo licks, duh. Some people would say, well, usually when I sing lead on the song I just kind of vamp, or maybe I'll roll, but I don't do any licks. I'll let another instrument provide the fill-in licks in the holes in my vocal, and that's perfectly fine, because again, the purpose of these videos is not to say that you have to play and sing at the same time, but if you do, which is a good skill to have, I think it occurs sometimes in jams. And singing in general, I'll wrap this up by saying singing in general is a really great thing to learn how to do, even if you never become a great lead vocalist. If you can learn to sing harmony, singing harmony teaches you about the notes in the scale that are harmonized notes. Singing harmony with the lead singer shows you the difference between a lead note and a harmony note, which corresponds to strings on your banjo. Learning to sing lead reinforces what a simple melody should sound like. So as a banjo player, singing a vocal song will tell you which notes you're playing on the fingerboard are the actual notes of the song, and not the rolls and the licks and the vamps. It allows you mentally to strip away all those things that are not melody and focus on just the melody. So I'll get off my soapbox there and we'll just wrap up. I'll use a different song this time. I'll use Worried Man Blues, and we'll just look for places to put licks. Now if you're already playing backup, we'll say up the neck backup licks and things, you can do any of those licks while you're singing if you learn how to do this, or you can do low position licks. Let's start out in this video by doing some low position licks. So I'm going to try to mix things up here. This will be kind of a culmination of what we talked about in all three videos. But what I'm going to be looking for now are those active holes, or those places in songs kind of on a long word of a vocal, or a spot where the vocalist may stop singing, where you can kind of slide a lick in and then get back to playing rhythm. So I'm going to be vamping, maybe rolling, a combination of both, and then when I hear a spot for a lick, I'll try to pick a couple of easy licks down here. And remember, the licks may appear in different chords in the song. So if there's a hole in the G measures of the song, you'll need a G lick. If there's holes in the vocal over the C chord, let's say, you'll need a C lick or some C licks to draw from. So you'll get the idea when we start doing it. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. Okay, that's just a simple example of mixing things up. You can always substitute any G lick in a G hole in the song, I'll call it, or a C or D. Let's analyze some of the holes. And again, the vocalist may not do like I'm doing. Takes a worried man, sing a worried song. That's a real easy hole to distinguish. Sometimes you'll hear a vocalist hold out a note, and the note will resonate through the hole in the vocal. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Well, that's kind of a vocal version of what we're doing on the banjo. If we were rolling or vamping and we heard a spot like takes a worried man, that vocal line being held out is a way to vocally fill that spot where there's no melody, or the melody note's real long, so you hold it out. Instruments would kind of fill the gap, but the singer's trying to fill the gap with that takes a worried man. They could do some kind of vocal move, but what they're trying to do is fill that spot. And it's still legal for you to fill that hole. So even if the vocalist doesn't cut off their words like I'm doing and they decide to sing a little bit through that section where you could put a lick, go ahead and play the lick anyway, because that's where they're designed to go. It takes a worried man, which is a single string lick, to sing the worried song. Takes the worried man lick to sing a worried song. Lick takes a worried man. Sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. 21 links of chain bound around my leg. I mean, you could just sing verse after verse, and then the holes would tend to come in those predictable places. So what are the, the prerequisites for being able to play licks while you sing? Well, the first one is you got to have some licks. So you got to have some G, C, D, F, A, whatever the chord is. You got to have licks that will work in those chords. You've got to know about how long the licks last, and if you're not into theory and you can't say, well, this lick is 2.5 beats long, if you just get a feeling, hey, I think this lick will fit, it feels like it will, that's usually the same thing. That's your brain trying to quantify how long the lick lasts. So see if the lick will fit, and then you have to listen for the holes. You have to know where the holes are in the song, and it's not very hard. You listen to the song. Whenever you hear a word that's held out, that's usually the vocalist trying to cover up the hole. Or if they don't fill the hole with a vocal and they cut the word off. Takes a worried man, sing a worried song. Usually the vocal line will tell you where it wants to lick. And the trick is here, it's up to you as the vocalist to decide how much rhythm you want to play in between the vocal lines. What do I mean by that? Well, you notice I kept something going. It takes a worried man. I kept a roll going. Or takes a worried man. Sing a word. You'll have to determine, do I want to keep rhythm going and then play a lick, keep rhythm going, play a lick, or do you want to kind of just like hang out? I have heard really good players, just drop out of playing the banjo altogether and then they'll drop in a lick. Well, to me, that's kind of strange for the banjo to come completely out of left field with no rhythm attached to it, just do a lick. Sounds kind of out of context almost. Most really good players, if you listen to do that, they do tend to keep the rhythm going. Take a worried man, sing a worried song. Takes a worried man, sing a worried song. Takes a worried man, sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. So they'll tend to kind of keep some rhythm going, either with rolls or vamps, which you remember I classify that as kind of like rhythm only. Vamping and rolling just provides a good rhythm. And then you have to switch a mental gear almost and say, okay, lick, rhythm, lick, rhythm, lick. So you look for the spots in the song. Now, if you were playing an instrumental, obviously we wouldn't be talking about this because we're talking about singing. So when you're singing, really listen to the lyrics very closely. Listen to how the singer is phrasing the song. Different singers will give you different lengths of holes. They may cut off their words more because they realize you're trying to play licks behind them. So they're going to kind of give you more holes to fill. Some singers may be more about them singing. They don't care what anybody else is playing for backup. So they may sing a lot of really complicated things with their voice in the same spots where you might want to do a lick. And you're like, well, this vocalist is not giving me any holes. Don't try to cram a lick in there. Usually the singer, when they're singing, they're kind of like the star of the situation, so you kind of let them do their thing. So if you don't think the licks that you're trying to play are working too well with the style of singing that the person's doing, then it's better to lay out. The old saying goes, when in doubt, lay out. So don't force licks in just because you're upset that you're not getting enough places to play your licks. That's just how things go sometimes. But what you should do is just take some of the standard songs that you play with vocals, analyze the chord progression, analyze the licks, pick up the licks that you know, and try to go through that step-by-step process that we've been talking about in the videos. And good luck with it. I appreciate you watching. Thanks.